Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Val and
Roula DK, how
hey.
are you?
I'm good, babe. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
So you like my
not.
new background?
I do. I do.
So if you guys listened to some previous episodes of from last year, this is the obnoxious photo that I had done.
I love it.
Um, and I came out of the mall so embarrassed because I thought it was going to be like literally half the size. And Jennifer got me this massive picture of myself. So it's been sitting on the ground. Now it's my backdrop.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it is huge. Like for context for people, I mean, I think it's
Let's
what, 4 feet? It's, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is huge. I love it. I love it. I love
Oh, fuck me. Anyway.
it.
So today we are going to talk, well, we're going to talk about politics. And that's something that some people have asked us to talk about because Rule and I are very opinionated on politics. And often, well, I think we've come maybe on the same page now because we were opposite. And now we are almost the same. Almost.
I think listen, for me, I say it all the time. I think it depends on the situation. I think that we've definitely become more uh closer in our thought process. It's a shit show out there, let's be honest. I
Well,
tend
so
to so I don't vote in the country of Canada, so I
that's
don't
right.
complain about Canadian politics.
But I complain about American all the
Yeah,
time.
this is the thing that drives me crazy about friggin' Canadians. I don't understand. You people waste more time and energy thinking about America and complaining about what's happening in America than your own country. If people took half of their
Oof, you're going to get some
energy,
hate on this.
but if people took half the energy that they do about worrying about the US and got off their asses and voted in Canada, then we might have a different situation than we do now with JT. But again, I don't
Well,
comment because I can't vote.
okay. You can comment. Who gives a shit? So, well, I'm going to say congratulations. Donald Trump won.
Finally.
A lot of Canadians are happy. A lot of people are angry. People are freaking out. Um, I think it's a good thing. That's my personal opinion. And JT, our stupid leader,
Pretty
and
boy, pretty boy.
pretty boy, weak leader, has said he's going to resign. His intent is to resign. He has not resigned yet. So people are celebrating. And I'm like, until he's resigned and out of that fucking house and out, like back to his homeland, Cuba, I don't want to.
For those of you who don't know, the
uh,
rumor is that Fidel Castro's JT's dad.
Yeah, they
Hence
are
why she's
spitting
saying
image of each
Tula.
other. Who knows? I'd like a DNA. I'd like a DNA. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care. The guy has just. Anyway, there was something going around, and we're going to talk about cancel culture. Now, those that know me know I'm very opinionated, and I we said when I wanted to do this podcast, I kind of didn't want to go the political route. I just wanted to shoot the shit as a Gen X
Mhm.
and just be who we are, right? But it's so political right now that I said to Rula, I think we need to just talk about it a little bit. This is not what it's going to go. Those, because I'm a conservative or Republican, because I used to live in the States, I wasn't able to vote, but I fell more on the conservative side. During COVID and all that kind of stuff, people try to cancel me. They unfriended me. Because I had an opinion about COVID or I wasn't allowed to wear a mask because of my brain surgery and my issue, but no one gave a shit, right?
Mhm.
And so I lost some people. And did it affect my businesses? Yeah, to a degree. But, as my first speech that I did at Speaker Slam about human connection, I thought it was the most hated, but there was still actual people that still loved me, right? And people want to hear my opinion on stuff. You just be careful what you ask for because the shit that comes out of my mouth, sometimes I'm shocked what comes out, right? So there was So there was a meme, or not a meme, or I guess it was a meme or something saying, we should show some kindness. I guess I could pull it up. I don't know. I know I sent it to you, Rula. Um, some kindness for as JT Justin Trudeau leaves. We should show kindness and not name calling and this and that.
So you saw this. Let me backtrack. Give people context because you
Okay.
didn't send it to me. You told me where to look for it. But
Okay.
someone posted this on social media. It came up on your feed.
Yeah.
I don't believe you follow this person, but
I
I
do
could be wrong.
follow. I
Okay, you
do
do
follow.
follow.
He's one of
Okay,
he's a speaker, he's a
okay,
coach or
okay.
TED Talk.
So you saw this on social media.
Yeah.
It was in your feed, and
Yeah.
then you commented on
And it was
a
a
public.
polite comment.
Okay, you commented. It was public though. This
Yeah,
guy's
it was
page for the
public.
world
Yeah.
to see. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a public comment. And I just said, that's great if that leader showed the same respect. But unfortunately, this leader did not. He divided us. He named called people that he disagreed with. For me personally, I think he's ruined the country with our massive debt, mass immigration, his corruption over and over again. And I'm not saying people on the conservative side are perfect either. They're like politicians are politicians, right? And all I said was that's great if he showed us the same respect, but he didn't. And he's going to get what he put out there, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, the author of this post did not like it, and he went through like this whole thing, and I said wokeness because I hate wokeness. And he, after reviewing my account, he said, you're basic he goes, clearly you're on the right political side, because you use wokeness as a negative. And I'm like, yeah, I do, because I think it's ruined society, this wokeness. Everybody's so easily offended. You can't have an opinion and you have to be so careful because I need a safe space. Fuck off. Anyway, he suggested, because of my career in branding, that I should take down my post. And then he'd give me a chance maybe. And I'm like, that's fucking comical.
Yeah,
I didn't ask for a single chance from you. And I'm allowed to have an opinion. And I don't think what I said was so horrible, whether it be left or right. It's about respect. And we're always taught what you put out, it's going to come back tenfold.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
Canadians are fucking angry. Americans are angry. Everybody's angry. And people have the right. People are broke. They can't feed their families. They can't pay their bills. They're going to be angry. And we're allowed to voice our opinions. But I find it's only certain opinions we're allowed to voice.
Well, I think here's the thing. My whole thing is if you put it out on social media and you have an open account, then you should be able to handle what is put back, like put on your page. Like
Yeah.
you have it open for a reason. If you didn't want to get opinions, then go private.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, just because someone else's opinion isn't the same as your opinion, you and I say it all the time. Let's agree to disagree, but
Mm-hmm.
let's have a conversation because
Yes.
what COVID that closed off COVID time, and you guys have to remember, my friends in the US, we literally were locked down on 3 or 4. Keep seeing posts in my Facebook, and I'm like having PTSD.
Yeah.
Truly. Because it's like my kid back on online school. Oh, here's a picture of her. It's the third time we're back on online school.
Yeah.
We were in lockdown. Like, you think Australia, like after Australia, I think we had the most lockdowns.
I
Did
think we
we
were the
not?
same. I think
Okay.
I think Australia was like that much more worse than
Okay.
us.
So you need to remember my friends in the US, because I say it all the time. I mean, I went and visited my family. Obviously, I could cross the border because I was American. We went to an amusement park. What amusement parks? There were no amusement. We couldn't even go to the corner. We couldn't go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
There were like 20 of us in friggin' Longos at a time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my reason for that, just context, because I think sometimes our American friends forget how locked down we were. And that I believe has also sparked this within
Anger.
Canadians of like, F you,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, businesses haven't recovered. I can tell you, businesses haven't recovered. Mental health of that generation. I said it when it was happening. We are creating a generation that needs to be in therapy. And I'm talking about my kids' age generation, because these kids went from, we have the COVID babies who had no outlet and they
Yeah.
didn't see any other kids, so they don't know how to interact.
Yeah.
I was with a 4-year-old recently, not a clue. They thought running around screaming and yelling was normal, and I was like, what the fuck? And they were like, "Oh, well, they really don't. They never went out when they were little. Like I had my kid in groups and this and
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but it was COVID. Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't. It was COVID, but it doesn't mean as a parent you're going to be a shitty parent and not integrate your child.
Well, and
Um,
it's funny, people are going to say, well, it was COVID and we had to protect others and protect everything. Well, now we know, go looking back, that shit didn't work, right?
well,
So,
and it was COVID, but people still got diseases and still had to go through things.
yeah.
And I'm not even going to
Yeah.
go down that road. But just because it was COVID doesn't mean everything else stopped.
Yeah, but it did for
So
Canadians and that's why we're so angry. But it's
So going back to this guy,
yeah, but going back to
so
this guy.
you wrote your opinion,
Yeah,
and
and
I
then
think he came back.
he came back and then I went back and then his he came back again with very long and very word salad, like Kamala Harris. But
But wait, but you never go out. Here's my thing with you. People love you or hate you,
yeah,
right? Like, and that's okay. And as I say, people don't need to like me. I don't really care. I'm a very confident in who I am and the human being I am, and then I know how good I am. So if you don't like me, that's on you, not on me. I don't give a shit.
yeah,
But in saying that, you have made your mark being authentically you. So
yes,
if this man did any digging on you, he would know that
yeah,
you're not going to change for anybody because
no.
that's not who you are.
It's literally what I said back to him. I said, he's like, take this down because of your brand. And I said, thank you for your opinion on my business and my branding. I said, but this is literally how I built my brand. People listen to me because they know what's coming out of my mouth will be authentic.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to change that just because you disagree. You're not the only TED Talk coach. Even if I want to go and do TED Talks, it's not on my radar. It's not something I even thought of doing. I love speaking to people about being authentic, and this is the perfect example. And this is a hill I'll die on, just because we have a different opinion. Now, look, you and I, you're one of my best friends, and politically we are opposite. And but we love each other. We
Yeah.
respect each other. This is my whole point, that yes, we can have different opinions and yet and still have loving and meaningful relationships,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's not what's happening. It's this fucking cancel culture. Like, take down your post and then you give me a chance. Well, don't you feel so righteous that I need you to give me a chance? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
But that's also the here I am, all you lucky people, right? Like I said, here I am, all you lucky people. I'm gonna give you my opinion,
yeah,
and I am the ABC, right? Like there. Here's the thing: there are people who do and who do under the radar, right? Like
yeah,
there are people who it's funny because I don't sing my own accolades, right? Like when I tell people after a while, like if I meet you and I'm like, "Oh, I went to this school or I did this thing, oh, I raised this much money, oh, I did." They're like, "Oh, oh, you did all that?"
yeah,
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 I was responsible for a $13 million budget of dollars coming in
yep,
per year. Like that's what my team raised, right?
yeah,
Like and so people are like, "Oh, but there are those people and we just do it and we do it because we want to do it." And then there are the puffer uppers like this gentleman who is the here I am, all you lucky people. I'm going to give you my opinion and you're
yeah,
going to run and change who you are because I'm telling you as an ABC, I don't even know what this, speaker coach, whatever this person does.
yeah. I
I
don't even
know.
know his
Sorry.
name, but it is what it is. And then yeah, so I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change for anybody. If you don't like the opinion, just don't.
But Val, you're confident enough to be able to stick to your guns.
Yeah.
What about the people who aren't? Because there are people who,
Well, I could
what does
coach
that
them.
do?
And please contact me.
Yeah, what does that do to, but what does that do to our human, like, human relationships and just like, how does that work if you're, maybe you're not as you and I are two confident women who
Yeah.
don't give a shit, who will
Yeah.
tell you where to go and how to get there.
But I
But yet,
think, let me just interject here for just a
yeah,
second. But I think with us, we're very opinionated. And we have our stances and stuff, but we're also strong enough to say, you know what? We're going to agree to disagree, like you said, or I think you're wrong, or I think, or you're
Or I
right.
was
You're
wrong,
right. You're
right?
right. Like you've taught
Exactly.
me things, I've taught you things.
Yeah.
I think we're strong enough to know that just because it's like giving in, it's not giving in. It's listening, and you're, like I said, it's education, right? It's open dialogue. And if you're shutting it down, you can't always be right, no matter what side you're on. There's right and wrong, and it's your right and wrong. And then there's
So
reality.
this reminds me of, I have this thing with my kid. My kid's 10, right? And there are times that she just wants to win an argument for the sake of winning,
Yeah.
right? And she's a child. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
And that's what this man, like, talking this through again with you now, like, he reminds me of my kid who's like, no, no, I just want to win one. Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't like, this is life. It's not a win or lose.
Yeah.
This man has made it a competition, and the competition isn't, that he's always right. The competition is that as human beings, we learn from each other, we grow from each other, and we make this world a better place.
Yeah.
We don't just shut the door on somebody because, you know, I didn't just slam that door in your face at Shoppers and not speak to you, when during COVID, right? Because
Yeah.
you were you and I was me,
Yeah.
right? Look at how far our relationship has come as two, at that time, probably polar opposites,
Polar
right?
opposites. Yeah.
But we sat down, we had conversations, we continued the conversations,
Yeah.
and look at where, I think we've done some good in this world since then, right?
I think we have. I think
And
we
that
have.
I think that's what people forget. We are, as humans, we are better together.
Yeah.
We are better together, and we need to allow each other the opportunity to teach one another
Yeah.
and be open to that.
And be open to it, and you don't always have to be right. I think,
Mhm.
there's compromise in any relationship, right?
Yeah.
And you can just agree to disagree and be okay with that, so, like, you're not my only liberal friend, there's multiple. But I remember even my own family. I remember, what was that app? We were using it to make calls.
Oh, crowd house. Oh, house
Something
party.
house.
Party house, house party,
House
something.
party or something
I
like
don't know.
that. So I was talking to a cousin of mine, and then another girl that's a cousin of hers. And as I'm coming on, they didn't realize I could hear them already. And they probably, if they are listening to this now, they're going to know. One whispered to the other, "She's a Trump supporter. So be careful what you say." And I'm like, come on, hi guys. And we didn't talk about politics or anything like that. It's just, but like, that's what you're identified as, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
at the nail salon on Friday, this lady was talking next to me, really nice lady. Uh, I told her about the podcast. She loved the name. I am that bitch, whatever. And she's like, oh, we started talking about politics, and she's like, oh, Pierre Poilievre, or whatever his name is. Um, he's just another Trump. And I'm like, well, I don't mind it. Like, I just don't mind it. And then she continues. I don't think she realized. She's like, well, Trump supporters are like rednecks. I'm like, well, I guess I'm a redneck.
I love it.
But we sat there, we laughed. She's like, I'm going to listen to your podcast. But there's another perfect example
Yeah.
of, here we are, two different generations. We disagree on politics. And, I gave her some facts that, things that Trump did in his past administration and what other administrations didn't do. And she's like, well, I didn't know that. Why don't they say that? And I'm like, that's the problem sometimes, right? So,
Yeah.
but this was an open dialogue. And she was
Yeah.
open, and I was open. We were laughing, we're getting our nails done, and it was a great conversation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I know she's going to be listening. So hi.
And I think, the important part is, like, this whole cancel culture, like, let's just not. Let's just be better people. Like, let's take, I not necessarily take the high road, because there are times that I do not take the high road. I'm human, let's be honest. But
Yeah.
let's just be open to becoming better individuals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but I think wokeness is on its way out. I do. The political correctness. I listen, it's about being polite and everything like that, but I really do think it ruined comedy. I think
Mm.
that's, like growing up as Gen X, For me, Rule, I don't know about you in Boston, but for me here, we were very multicultural. It was primarily white, and I lived in a primarily like Greek, Macedonian, Italian neighborhood. But some of my friends were Indian, Jamaican, Chinese. We had like, we had multicultural um, groups, and we would joke about shit. The things we would say, like even now, my friend Will and I, we are not politically correct in any way. Um, and it was just, we laughed about it. We didn't take everything so seriously.
But you also took care of each other. And I
We
think
also
that's
did
what we
take care
did.
of each other.
That's what for us, it wasn't the same ethnicities. We had a lot of Cambodian, Mexican, just people from the Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
different groups, but the same thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of we in terms of togetherness, we looked out for each other. And I
Yeah.
think now there isn't that, there's not that looking out for my neighbor kind of mentality. It's what's in it for me. Not for everybody, but for
Yeah.
a lot of people. It's like I put my blinders on, I go about my business. Okay, if someone stops me, oh my God, like, okay, I have to talk to them, but I'm just gonna put my head down and go, 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 go. But that's not what being part of a community is.
No.
That's not what being part of part of a greater city or town or
Yeah.
whatever you live in is. It's we need to also, as people of our age and from our generation, we need to be the ones to teach the next generation how to be better humans,
Yeah.
right? And we can't do that if we're living in our own lane.
Yeah, and I think you as parents, because I don't have a kid, but I think you guys have a big, massive challenge, So you've got COVID situation that happened to your children. There's just the world is just a different place. It's scary. We could walk around more freely back then. We were out all the time. Our parents like, get the fuck out of the house.
Yep.
Like don't come home until the lights come on unless you got a
I
key or whatever. Go pee in a bush.
Yeah, go to
You
find
need
someone's
water,
house,
turn on
whoever's
the
house is
hose.
closest. Yeah, pee there. You need water. My husband sent me a thing that was like growing up in the 80s. I learned that I didn't need to carry a 40-ounce water bottle around with me, and it's a man taking a glass, turning on the water from the tap,
Yeah,
closing it, and drinking it.
yeah.
And it says number three was like repeat multiple times a day, right? But it's so true. Now I don't leave my house without a water bottle. I don't think my kids like ever been anywhere without water. Like just these things that we just didn't do. Like it was just
So good. God, it was
right.
so good. We have to do a Gen X different generations episode.
Yes.
We're gonna
Yes.
bring on some other people, and
Love it.
you know what? We'll take on questions and then we'll get different opinions.
I love that.
That's
I
what we're
love
gonna
that.
do.
All
All
right. Well,
right, my
thank you
friend.
for another great episode. And I'm so glad that this individual, was open to so
I just
many.
left it. He that like the thing was like this long, and I read his thing, and I was like, that's a word
Yeah,
salad.
done.
And I'm
Done.
like, I'm done. Like, we're
Done.
we're we're not we're you clearly want to fight about it and you want to be right, then be right, buddy.
Yep. Yep.
Have at it. You
Yep.
be that. And what's scary is he's a speaking coach. So telling somebody not to be authentic and take a post down, mm, uh,
Not my kind of coach.
not my kind of coach. Yeah. But
No.
anyway, good luck to you, my friend.
Exactly.
Anyway, my dear, I will see you on the next episode. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Like, subscribe, make some comments, tell your friends to watch us.
We're funny. Have them watch
I
us.
think
We're
we're
funny.
funny. Fuck, funny looking, but we're
Oh.
we're funny. Damn it.
Listen, have a great day, everybody.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.